So for step 3, attaching the pinion gear, we're going to need the motor, which I've grabbed out of the bag. We're going to need the motor plate, which is going to come out of bag A as well, which you can see right there. It's in there. But we're also going to need the pinion, which is actually in that bag right there. So we need to grab that pinion. And we need to grab these two parts, which are coming off of parts tree B, and I've already cut them out, so we need these two pieces as well. This is a pinion guide, so that's going to help you to put the pinion in the exact spot it needs to be. So these pieces can be very, very helpful. So I'll grab the other bits and get them out, and then we will work on getting this pinion all set up properly on the motor. So here's our motor plate. So I've got that, and then we've got our pinion. Now you can see that it says here, match numbered holes to pinion gear number. Well, we know that the kit comes with a 21 tooth pinion. And in fact, I don't know if you can see it there, but it actually says 21 on the pinion itself. So based on that, we're going to end up picking, and if we can see the right numbers on there, you're going to use the screw holes that say 21. And you can see there's one there and right there. So those are the two screw holes that we're going to use when attaching this to the motor. Now for the motor itself, it's got a rubber boot. That's only to protect it. So if you grab a pair of pliers and just grab the end, clamp down, pull, it's off. I figure that's the easiest way to do it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put on the motor plate. So you'll want to match the holes. You can see, not with the bottom one, but the two across. Match the two holes. So that they're directly across from each other. So there we go. There's our motor plate. And then we're going to take our pinion guide, which is actually going to sit over top. And then we put the pinion on. And that's essentially where it's going to be screwed down to. Now, what I've found as a whole is we've got our little grub screw, which came out of one of the bags in bag A, is just to help with this process. Put it on there first, then screw it into the pinion gear. Because then we don't have to worry about it. It's in the pinion itself. So again, grab your motor, grab your pinion guide, grab your pinion, and of course find that spot. And in fact, if I show it to you this way, see the flat? The other thing that I've tended to do is I'll get the hex wrench just enough that it's actually on that spot, right? So that it's on the flat. In other words, the pinion can't move around off the flat. It's just on. You can see that it's going to stay on that flat spot. So once we put that on and put the pinion on, we know that that's exactly where it needs to be, and we can screw that down. So I will hold that tight, grab our Allen wrench, turn. I just want to make sure that it's exactly where it's supposed to be. Yes. So again, I'm going to put that back on. I don't necessarily have to, but I'm going to do it. And then we're going to tighten this. And I like to tighten this as tight as I can get it. Doesn't matter that the guide's fallen down because it was already tight. But there we go. There is our pinion gear, and because of that guide, we know it's exactly where it's supposed to be. So you can see that where it sits on that pinion. So that part is done. So now we can attach it to these pieces right here. Now you can see we've got our 21 and 21. We want to align it just like that so that the holes are facing the 21 and the 21. Because it's a 21 tooth pinion. Now these two screws here, they came out of another part of bag A. So we're going to put that in. And I'm going to do a light screw down first. Let it grab. Then we'll take the other screw. Same thing, it has to be the matching hole. So we already know it's going to be right there. There we go. Screw it down. Well, it doesn't want to. Let's... There. Screw that down. Now I'll screw it down nice and tight. I just like to get things in first before tightening things down, just to make sure it's fine. Okay. So there you have it. That is showing you that the two screws are right across from each other facing the 21, because that is a 21 tooth pinion. So we now have the motor ready to go for step 3. That step is finished. So now we can move on to step 4, which is attaching the motor to that gearbox we were working on.